Have you ever heard the expression, the devil's in the details? Well, today I'm going to give you 5 details you must master, note, and take care of if you want to have entrepreneurial success. And if you're not a detail-oriented person, I'm going to tell you what you need to focus on and what you can let go. This is what I continue to bring you: entrepreneurship, hustle, grind, and building wealth. And today we're going to talk the details of your entrepreneurial ventures, your side hustle, whatever it is you're doing. If you are interested in that type of content, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and I'll get right back with you.
The Real Teddy Talk. The Real Teddy Talk.
Hey YouTube, it's your girl, The Real Teddy Talks, educating you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on entrepreneurship, hustle, and wealth. Today we're talking details. I was going through some of my tax paperwork, the stuff the bank sends you and the state sends you and the federal government sends you to prepare you to file your taxes appropriately. And I almost got a headache. And every year this time I get bogged down with the details, right? Remembering, making sure I track things properly, keeping up with stuff. And it just made me really realize why entrepreneurship is so hard, right? And why people may start it and don't finish, or start it and don't do it very well, because it's hard to manage the daily operations of entrepreneurship and keeping up with all of the details. So I'm going to get into 5 details that you must master, and you must keep track of and always have an account of. And then everything outside of that, I'm not going to say that you can lay to the wayside by any means, but they're not as important as these 5 things. So let's get right into it. The very first thing that you need to track and make sure you keep detailed notes of is money. And there's 2 parts of that. The first one is the money going out. When you're starting your business, you are paying for a lot of things. Some little things, some big things. And you may, like me, have usually a good starter fund for whatever project you're starting, whatever side hustle, whatever side business, whatever main business you're starting. Whether you've got a loan, you saved a lot of money, you had a really nice friend or relative give you some money, the state or the government granted you some money. Whatever your case, you have to start a business with, even if it's a little bit, some cash. And as you're spending that money on your legitimization of your business, your LLCs, hiring your accountant, paying for your logo, your branding, your website, your web hosting, all of your subscriptions to this, that, or the other, plugins for your website. I have a lot of virtual assistants. I have to pay for a service to track their time. I mean, it's just endless. You're always, as money's going out, right? And hopefully money starts coming in. But you need to be tracking the money going out. You need to track it so that you can annotate it on your taxes. You need to track it so you can bump up your bank statements, because you hopefully have more than one account of money coming in and going out, so you can keep it separate for your taxes, so you can pay yourself, so you can pay your operational costs, all that good stuff. And just so you can keep just knowledge of what's working and what's not working in your business. And usually the comparison of money going in and out will help you make that decision. That takes us to the number 2 item that you need to keep detailed notes of, and that is the money coming in. That's the exciting part of business, right? That's how you know you're doing something right, if you have money coming in. But you need to track who that's coming from, how often it's coming, why it's coming, and what you're doing with it when it gets there. I made a mention just a little while ago to your various bank accounts. When I started my first business, I thought I only needed one business bank account. But then when I started making money and talking to an accountant, I realized I need like 3 different accounts. You need your main business account, and that may be your operating expense account where money is going in and out of. And then you need to have money coming out of that main account going to your taxes. Because as a solopreneur, an entrepreneur, a side hustle gangsta, like whatever you want to call yourself, you need to make sure you're setting aside that money for the taxes. If you're an independent contractor, I mean, there's no Uncle Sam, there's no CEO, there's no boss that's taking out the right amount of taxes for you. So you get that full profit, and you need to make sure that you're setting aside the appropriate amount for Uncle Sam. So when you pay quarterly or annually, you have that money there. So you have your tax account, you got an operational account, operating expenses, you have your tax account, and then you got to pay yourself. I mean, so many times entrepreneurs forget that part. Like either you just take a little bit left over, or worse yet, you just start dipping into your operation and expense account, just taking what you need when you need it. Nah, you need to set a certain amount or a certain percentage of profit or some set value, and you need to start paying yourself. And that's going to help you for taxes as well. That's going to help you when there's stimulus, when the federal government has stimulus. You need to know how much you paid yourself. And I mean, you just need to know in general. You need to know if you're due a raise at the end of the year. You need to know if you deserve a bonus. And that all needs to be tracked. If you ever bring people on your team, update your operating agreement, adjust your legal structure from a sole LLC to maybe a partnership or anything like that. You start filing your LLC as an S corp, whatever the case may be, you need to have all of that tracked. So you need your operating expense account, your tax account, and your salary, your payment account at a minimum, those 3 accounts. So back to the original point, you need to know what's coming in and what you're doing with it, okay? So that's number 1, money going out. Number 2, the money coming in. And the third thing, which ties into the first 2, is your taxes. You need to know what you're going to claim on your taxes, what you're claiming for business expenses, what's going to be deductible, what's not deductible, the money you've set aside for your taxes. I mean, and the best way to do this, if you're not a detail-oriented person, is have an accountant, a really good accountant. Not just someone that says around February or March, hey, send me your receipts and send me your stuff. No, you want that person that's checking in with you quarterly to make sure that you are annotating your expenses properly, that you're taking track and noting the things that you need to separate for your taxes. They're reminding you of certain deadlines and things that need to be filed and when they need to be filed and how they need to be filed. This person actually has a vested interest in your success and saving you money and optimizing your income, right? So if you're not good with doing it by yourself, or like me, you're really good at it, but once you have 2 or 3 LLCs, it gets a little complicated and you may just not have time for it. So find yourself an outstanding accountant and let them do that for you. But number 3 was your taxes. You have to keep up with the details of your taxes, what's taxable, and how much taxes you are paying. The 4th detail that you cannot let go by the wayside, especially if you're just starting, is your operational costs and your operational expenses. This gets more people in trouble than I think taxes does. Because say you want to start a business and you want to run a barbecue joint. And maybe it's not a full restaurant, right? Maybe you're just barbecuing at the backside of something or during festivals or whatever. And you buy all of your meats and your spices and your sauces, and you do this for some big event like Memorial Day weekend, right? You get a ton of stuff, a ton of meat, a ton of charcoal, and whatever wood you're using to smoke it. I don't know. I'm not a barbecue person. Anyway, you get all that stuff. It's a holiday weekend, and you sell out, and you sell out big. And you're like, this is me. I'm going to do it. Everybody loves my barbecue. I'm doing it big. And then it's just a regular Saturday. It's no holiday. Maybe it's not summertime anymore, and you're trying to do that same thing. You don't know how much meat to buy, you don't know how much help you need, you don't know how much it's going to cost you, and you probably overspend, right? Or you underspend. Whatever the case, you have to know your operational cost. You need to know what is a good guesstimate of what's going to go out and what you expect to come in. And you need to always err on the side of caution. So you don't want to overspend. I'd rather, if there was a food example, I'd rather run out of products, right? And close up and I've made my money for the day, then overspend anticipating something that may or may not happen, and then you're left holding the bag at the end of the night. So think about that. You have to think about your insurances that you may need to run your business, the help that you may need to operate your business. If you start a nightclub, you need to worry about your liquor license and all of your waiters and your wait staff. You need to hire a manager. You need to pay the utilities in the building. You might need to lease it or buy it. You have to pay your security. I mean, there's just so many different layers that go into everything you do that you don't think about until it's time. And you may have only had X amount of money to start. Maybe you started with $5,000 and you put all of that into the design to have a lush place. If you're a hairstylist, right, you made your booths look all fancy and your mirrors look good and you got the top of the line hair dryer and pressing equipment and whatever. And you didn't realize that you have to pay a receptionist and you have to pay somebody to clean your windows and sweep out front and whatever, X, Y, and Z. You have to know your operational costs, and that's a detail. You have to get down into the weeds. You have to talk to other people who own a business similar to what you want to start. Sit down with them, buy them coffee, buy them lunch, buy them dinner, and try to pick their brain. Hopefully you can find somebody who's willing to give you some good jewels and gems and information that's not going to make you reinvent the wheel. And you just do that a few times, take notes, and ease on into it, and you'll be just fine. And final thing, and probably one of the most important things you need to keep track of, a detail that you need not let slide when you are an entrepreneur and just starting or been doing it for years, is the people that you let around you. That is so important. People bring drama, people bring energy, people bring vibes, but on the good end, people bring experience and wisdom and knowledge and teamwork and go-getter spirit. So hopefully you are experiencing more of the latter examples than the previous, the first examples. But whatever the case, watch who you have around you. When you're starting a business, you need people around you that are going to help you grow. They're going to help you reach your goals. That are going to freaking give you ideas that are amazing. They're going to see your pain points and things that need fixing. They're watching your six. They're watching your back, and they know how they can help you, and they can see the things in the periphery that you can't see because you're going full steam ahead. You need to have those people around you that are going to help. And if you don't have people around you, your team that's helping you be the best you and reach your exponential greatness, you need to cut that chaff. You need to cut them off and let them go. The people around you are so important. Hopefully you can have people around you that you can bring up with you on this journey. It's still going to be yours. It's still your baby, whatever it is you're starting. But you just can't do it alone. It's so much. And if you do it all by yourself, like literally with no help, then you are not scaling and you are not anywhere near maximizing the profit potential that you have. So you have to invite some people along to help you do it and be the best you can be and have the best business and profit you can have. But pick them carefully, watch them closely, and build that design and those details so that it is an interactive relationship that can help you grow. And that's all I got. Those are 5 things, 5 details you need to pay close attention to. And if you're not a detail-oriented person, focus on those 5 things: the money in, the money out, your taxes, your operational costs, and your team, and you will be on to a great, great start. Invest in yourself just 1% a day to reach your exponential greatness and have phenomenal results at the end of the year. This is The Real Teddy Talks, signing off.